Welcome to the Math Record. Today I'll be covering the ICTM Regional 2017 Division AA Precalculus. I'll be covering questions 8, 17, and 19. As usual, I'll take time to go through all 20. Okay, so let's start with number 8. A super ball is launched 100 feet into the air from ground level, measured vertically to the bottom of the ball. It falls back to the ground level and then rebounds 3/4 its height on the previous bounce. The ball continues this pattern until it stops. Determine the total distance the ball traveled as measured from the ground. Okay, so we have a ball that's launched 100 feet into the air. So we have something like this. And then it goes back that 100 feet down. And then when it goes down, it rebounds up 3/4 of its height. So it goes back up like this. And then falls back 3/4 of its height. And then from there, it rebounds 3/4 of its 3/4 of the height. So it goes like this. And then it goes back down. And it does that pattern for a while, right? Like this. So it goes on basically forever until it basically stops moving a lot of distances. So how do we solve that? Well, basically we have a height that goes up and then the height that goes down. So let's focus on it going up for now. So we went up 100 and then from here it went up 75 and then from here it ran up because this dropped down 100. So this goes up 75. So this goes down 75 and then it goes up 3/4 of 75, 3/4 of it, and then it goes down 3/4 of 75. So it sees that it's just going down 3/4 each time. So 100, 74, and then 74 times, 75 times 3/4, and then 75 times 3/4 times 3/4, right? So then this pattern you could rewrite as 100 times 3/4 to the power of x. And you could say that we need to find the total distance, right? So it will be the sum of when x is equal to 0 to infinity. Because when it starts at 100 and it starts going down. And this is the sum when it goes up. Now, what's the sum when it goes down? Well, it's basically the same thing, right? It's 100 and then 75, and then 75 times 3/4, and then it's going to be 75 times 3/4 times 3/4, and then etc. So it's going to be another one of this. So just multiply by 2 to get a total distance. Because the height that's going up is also the same height going down. So what is this? Well, this is an infinite geometric series, and there's actually an easy way to solve this. It's just going to be the first digit, which is 100, divided by 1 minus the ratio. So that will be 100 divided by 1/4, which is 400. So this summation is just equal to 400. So it will be 2 times, remember the 2? 2 times that 400. And that will be equal to 800. And that is our answer for number 8. Okay, so now number 17. In triangle ABC, D lies on AC such that BD bisects ABC. Okay, so we have some kind of line. We have a triangle. So let's say something like this, like that. And I'll label this part as B. This is A, and this is C. So then we have C. We have a D that's on AC from B that bisects it. So something like this. It's not perpendicular. It kind of just looks bad because of how I drew it. So this is D, and this angle equals this angle. And they say that AB is 18, BC is 12, and DC is 7. And then we need to find the degree measure of the smallest angle in this triangle. So how do we find this side length? Well, it's actually pretty easy. There's something called the angle bisector theorem, which basically tells us that if an angle is bisected, then the ratio of the side lengths are equal. So this divided by this is equal to this divided by this. So 18 divided by 12 is equal to our mysterious length, which is x divided by 7. So that is just 1.5 times 7, which is equal to our x. So that is 10.5. So this is 10.5. So adding that together, that is 17.5 as this length. So what is our smallest angle? Well, our smallest angle is this angle right here. So this is our smallest angle because because the 12 is the smallest side length. So opposite of the smallest side length is the smallest angle. So how do we get that angle? Well, first, um, we could what we could do is that we have three side lengths, so we could use the law of cosine. So that gives us that 12 squared is equal to 18 squared plus 17.5 squared minus 2 times 18 times 17.5 times cosine of theta. So that's what we need to look for. And now you can just plug this on your calculator. So 12 squared minus 18 squared minus 17.5 squared divided by negative 2 divided by 18 divided by 17.5 and then inverse cosine. And you should get a answer rounded to the nearest thousandths, 39.482. And that's in degrees. So that's number 17. And that's basically it. Okay, number 19. When 2 sine of 2x cosine x minus 4 cosine squared of x equals sine of x minus 1 is solved over the interval 0 to 2 pi, the sum of the solutions is k pi. Determine the exact value of k. So I know that sine of 2x is just 2 times sine of x times cosine of x. That's just a double angle trig identity. And then it multiplies by another cosine of x, so this is actually cosine squared of x. And then a minus 4 cosine squared of x is equal to sine of x minus 1. So then from here, we could just make this a 4 sine of x cosine squared of x minus 4 cosine squared of x minus sine of x plus 1 is equal to 0. So let's just move this over. I don't know why I didn't center it. And then basically we could this is equal to 0. And then we could distribute out common factors. So we could distribute out 4 cosine squared of x, which give us sine of x minus 1. And then from here, we distribute out a negative 1 to make sine of x minus 1. So I see common factors, so that could become 4 cosine squared of x minus 1. Sine of x minus 1 equals 0. So this just factors out as 2 cosine of x plus 1, 2 cosine of x minus 1, and sine of x minus 1. So these are our three factors. So what when will sine of x equals 1? Well, sine of x equals 1 when it's 90 degrees or when it's pi over 2. And when would cosine of x equals 1 half? Well, cosine of x equals 1 half when it's 60 degrees. So it's only at 60 degrees, or basically looks like this, 60 degrees here or 60 degrees here, right? So if you think about it, adding this number plus this degree measure would just make 180, right? Because 60 over here is 120, and then this one will be 60. 60 plus 120, that is 180. So this would just be a sum of pi. And then what about this? 2 cosine of x plus 1. That will be when cosine of x is negative 1 half. So this will be when it's 60 on the bottom. So 180 plus 60 is 240. And then 360 minus this 60 is 300. So this angle is 300. So 300 plus 240 equals 540. So how much degree measure this? Well, this is just 3 pi. So in radians. So this part is 3 pi. Now you just add them all together. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus a half, which is 9 over 2. Well, 9 over 2 pi. So our value for k is 9 over 2. And that's your answer for number 19. And that's basically it. You just need to know your trig identities. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next math record. And here are the answers.